Hello, it's Mark Torch here from Markham 3D, and today we're going to talk about cleaning up motion capture data, like this pop.
Fine,
So now let's jump over into Blender and have a look at our animation. So at the moment, I've got the camera selected. I'm actually going to select the person. I'm just going to change the time frame. There we go. And what we need to locate is where he actually says it. So if we go back into Vegas, let's have a look. Roughly, what's the line?
I can't afford that.
No.
I will buy you out.
No. I will buy you out. So there we go. Let's go find that line.
I can't afford that.
No. Here we go. So this is our line here. And we should see a pop. There we go. For some reason, it goes up nice and high. And then seems to come back down. So what we're going to do is with this armature selected, we can see in the inner layer editor. So if we come up here, non-linear animation, we've got the armature selected. We've got our action selected, and this is what we need to edit. So I'm going to press Tab to go into edit mode. And this is the only bone that we care about location. Every other bone, we only care about rotation. But the hip bone, which controls the body, which moved it up and down, is based off location as well. So let's go into pose mode. And I believe it's all controlled by a little bone in here. There we go. So this would be our hip bone. If we come down in here and have a look, we know that the Z location is the one that changes. So if we kind of scroll out, I'm going to hold Control and middle mouse button to kind of control the size of it. Now I'm not caring about the rotation at the moment. I just want to look at location to start off with. So let's get rid of our 4 rotations and our scales. Now with this character, I believe that Y is up. So the way we can check that is I'm going to remove the X and the Z location, leaving us with only Y. Let's select everything. I'm going to press G to move this graph. I'm going to press Y so it only goes up and down. So if I hold up, he goes up and down. Beautiful. Now I can just show you with the Z axis. If I were to select everything and then I can press the period key on the numpad. There we go. Now if I go G, Y, we can see he's probably going to move forwards and backwards. Cool bananas. So let's go back into our Y. Let's press our period key so we zoom in. And we can see that this here is probably our problem. Now what I can do is I can actually just select the one keyframe that we've identified as our issue. We could even come down onto the action editor down the bottom. And let's come all the way in. I'm going to select that one there. I want to expand the selection a little bit. So I can press Control, Numpad plus, and that's expanding our selection. We can see it down here as well. Now I might expand it a little bit more. I'm going to press Control Numpad probably 2 more times. There we go. So these are the frames I want deleted. But the problem is especially with importing motion capture data, is that the graph comes in linear. So it'll go from point A to point B directly, regardless of how many empty keyframes are in between. But what we want is we want that nice curve. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control Numpad plus 1 more time. So we've just increased our selection a little bit more. I'm going to press T to bring up the interpolation. I'm going to select the Bezier. And from here, I'm going to press Control Numpad minus because I want to deselect that last selection. From here, I'm going to press Delete keyframes. There we go. And now what we're hopefully going to see is him moving nicely. So let's get out of edit mode. So put our cursor back up into the nonlinear animation, press Tab, and hopefully as we scrub through this, we won't see him gyroscope up. He still does a little bit, but it's nowhere near as harsh. So let's see if we can find this problem. So maybe we'll have a look about here. Let's press Tab back up here. And what do we see? We see this spike here. So this could be a problem as well. Now with this one, I'm actually just going to go in and probably select these 5, 6 keyframes. I'm going to press Control Numpad plus to expand our selection. Let's do that T to bring up the keyframe interpolation and Bezier. Control numpad minus. And now let's just delete these keyframes and let's have a look what happens. I'm going to press tab. And that seems a lot better. We've gotten rid of that spike. So to me, that looks pretty good. So what we're going to do is I'm going to render from maybe frame 1842, sorry. Whoops. 1842 to about 1900. So let's now render that and then we'll check out the results.
No. I will buy you out.
Ah, dang nabbit. So it's moved sideways as well. So let's go jump back into Blender. Let's see if we can find that point. There we go. So let's now press tab back into edit mode up here. Let's just have a look at the Z and X. And just have everything selected. Period key. Do we see any dirty jump? Look at this. Right here, this looks like our problem. So it's not a smooth line, but it kind of comes here and then abruptly goes up. Let's check our other axis, see if we've got the same problem. Look at you. So here we've got our problem. So rather than having this smooth line, we've got this jagged piece. Now to select both, I'm just going to select the keyframe down the bottom here. And so we've now got this keyframe selected. And let's go down to the other one. And we've got this keyframe here selected. I'm going to press Control numpad plus, 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 plus. That's good enough. Let's press T to set the Bezier curve. And then I'm going to do that numpad minus. Let's go delete keyframes. And now we've got this nice line here. And let's come up to the top. And now we've got kind of this very smooth line here as well. So let's now go back and we'll re-render this out. So press tab to go back into object mode. Render animation, and we'll let it go. So let's now check it out.
No.
What do we got?
I will buy you out.
Fine. You're
What?
Buy you out.
fine.
So we've got some weird hip action now. So we must have a rotational issue in there. I think it must be the waist. You know what? I'm just going to cheat. I'm just going to zoom the camera in. Not going to see it. So let's jump over into here. I'm going to go into object mode. Let's select our camera. And from here, I'm going to go into the camera settings. And let's just zoom in here. Now what I'm just going to do is very quickly have a look if he's in frame for all the shots. Beautiful. That's fine. He's in everything. Except that bit there. This part isn't in the film because we're only rendering up to 23,000. So I'm not too concerned about that bit there. So pretty much just wanted to show you how to look at the graph editor and how to make sense of it all. But you can see we did get a lot of cleanup in there. Just unfortunately that there are other bones that we need to adjust as well. I'm not going to bother about that right now. And yeah, so this film should be coming out hopefully on Friday. So if you haven't already, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out and keeps up to date with my content.